Joining me on the show today is UFC Bantamweight, ready to make his third appearance for the UFC next Saturday night, UFC Vegas 24 at the UFC Apex. Tony Gravely, man, welcome to the show, man. It's been a long time since I had a chance to chat with you.
It has. It's been a long time. I'm happy to be back.
Excellent, my man. Well, man, it's been a journey since that last time I interviewed you. You were just ready to get on the Contender Series. You've made some waves at the Bantamweight division. Third fight heading in, man. How's the ride been, bro?
It's been great. It's been, it started off, I wouldn't say bad because, I lost, but that whole experience of my debut was like the perfect scenario. It was perfect. If I'd have won, it'd have been absolutely perfect, but the fact that it was close to home and, I got the opportunity to fight in front of all those people that I know and grew up with. And, we got a fight of the night bonus. So that always helps, a little extra money. And the fact that, it feels pretty cool to, say that, we were fighting the night on a card full of a lot of really good fighters. So that, and I got my first win in November. It's been a little bit of everybody had kind of a layoff, from the time, January to November. All kinds of crazy stuff happened for everybody. But had some time off, which is probably the longest I've ever been without fighting. But luckily I got the win, and now my cat's on the table.
That's all right. I got a cat myself, man. I gotta jump him down too. Show the cat, Tony. Where's the cat? There's the cat. Hey, we gotta get.
How big she is.
She's almost a bantamweight.
She likes to show out on the table now.
That's awesome. Hey, Tony, usually they're jumping behind on the the counters and everything behind interviews, but that was awesome, man. Nice to meet you, cat, man. So, dude, you've had the kind of two experiences here. You made your debut, and it was pre-COVID, so you got to fight for your hometown and in front of fans. And then you got a taste of the no fan activity. What's the difference, and what was the nerve level between that? I know your second time around was, you have more experience, but what was the difference in both experiences?
The obviously the first experience was crazy. It was really loud. Had a lot of people there, a lot of cheering because a lot of the people there, I knew. So it was hundreds of people that I knew. Really loud. It was just almost like I would say like any other fight that I've had close to home, but the magnitude was much higher. The more people, it's a bigger deal. It's on TV. It's for UFC. It's my debut. So it was amazing. And then the second fight, the good thing is I kind of got to experience that already with the Contender Series. It was pretty similar, same building, but less people. Contender Series, I had about I think like 15 people come watch, so it was still pretty loud, but this was, there were no one other than people that work for the UFC, your corners. So, it was quiet in there, but it wasn't bad though. I kind of liked the fact that you could hear everything, and it's almost like practice. How in practice, at the gym when you get cage time. So we have a lot of space at the gym in American Top Team, and we have a cage. So, you set a schedule where you get your cage time to spar. So then it feels a little more real, like you get in there, it's cage, it's elevated, people are sitting around watching. Yeah. So it's kind of just like that. You can hear your coaches very well. So I wouldn't say that I dislike it, but the fans it's always going to be more fun and more exciting when you have people cheering for you, or even if they're booing for you, just that extra energy is fun to have. But both experiences are really good. I can't complain about either one. And, but both are definitely special in their own way.
Excellent. Well, you got the fight of the night bonus at your debut. You didn't come away with the win there, but it seemed like you learned a lot. COVID sets in, and then you make your second appearance, and a dominate. Even though it was a split decision, it seemed like you dominated that fight. just your aggression and nonstop pressure, man. It's something that many fighters can't take, especially at this level, man. How'd you feel different in that fight from the first fight?
That fight was a little different just because that layoff of, and also just the fact of like it's a lot of things going on like in personal life for everybody, and we moved to a different gym, but that's not like anything negative. But that's just a bunch of like extra stuff that adds on. But it wasn't like it was any worse as far as the nerves. It was one of those things where it was kind of like I feel like I didn't open up as much as I should have in the fight. It was kind of like you come off a loss, you're just like, oh, I just want to get a win, whatever it takes to get a win, and that's how it is all the time. But there were times where I could have opened up more doing things and been more aggressive on top and went for submissions or went to finish more. And that's one thing I didn't do that I should have done. But that's definitely what I'm gonna try to do for this fight.
Well, you spoke about moving and stuff like that, a new team. Let's talk a little bit about that and this training camp, getting ready for that that third trip to the octagon there, man. Let's talk about some of your training partners and the levels that you've kind of gained since joining them and getting ready in this training camp.
It's been phenomenal. It's like at American Top Team, the only way I can describe it is like a fighter's heaven. Like you go in there, everything you need is in one place. The coaches, the training partners, strength and conditioning. If you need help with if for some reason somebody needs some kind of like dietary, help, there are people that can help with that as well. So like anything you need is there. So there's no reason why someone should go into a fight and not be prepared to be the best they can be. And if they do, then it's probably on them. But just getting the opportunity to train with all of the best fighters, especially at my weight, and between the 125s and 135s, there's so many phenomenal fighters. And the cool thing is, like, a lot of these fighters I watched before I even started fighting. I've only been fighting for, I think 2014 was first time I ever started actually training, and then had my first amateur fight was like 2014. So I watched a lot of these people have been fighting a lot longer than that. So I watched these fighters, and now I watched them, and I grew up watching them, and not grew up watching them, but I just got into fighting, watching them, and looking up to them, and now I get to train with them, and I still look up to them because they, I still have that a high level of respect for every one of these fighters, and just getting to train alongside these people and also help them, for them to let me have a part in helping them prepare for their fights as well. It's just a really cool thing to feed off of. You feed off one another. They help you with your fight. You come back, and your job's also help them prepare as well. And I think just that feeding off of one another and holding each other accountable, because when I'm done with my fight doesn't mean I'm done training. Anyway, I come back and somebody else has a fight. I'll come back and anything you need, hey, let me know. I'll be in here drilling, sparring, whatever. And that's how everybody is. And that's a really cool environment to be around.
Exactly. And it's like you said, it's a nonstop training camp. You get a break, but you're helping other brothers and sisters get ready for their next opportunities. So, Tony, man, we're heading your third fight in there. We're a week away as of today, man. You're taking on Anthony Birchack. Is it a replacement opponent? You originally had another opponent, but how long's the gap been since you got this name and you've been able to prepare for him for next Saturday night?
So I originally had Nathan Maness, and that was, we had talked about it, and sometimes they hold off on when they let you talk about exactly who it is and things like that. So I've known about that since probably, I want to say, I can't remember if it was end of January, beginning of February or something like that. I mean, it's been two months or so, plenty of time. And so I guess maybe a couple weeks ago, I don't know exact timeline. A couple of weeks ago, I think maybe. No, it had to have been almost a month ago.
Yeah.
I found out that, which is I guess in a couple of weeks, 3-4 weeks. It's about a month anyway. But yeah, so I found out that he was injured and that they were going to find a replacement. So there was probably like a couple of day window of not knowing who it was going to be, but just still training either way. Just training, trying to stay prepared. And they found an opponent, and from what I hear, he had almost the same situation happen.
Exactly. I think he had a fight fall through like the month. I think he was scheduled to fight maybe in March or something. And things happen for a reason here. And what I see here is like Tony, you're a veteran in there, not so much in the UFC, but I mean you got a ton of fights. The dude you were going to fight before, I think he had a 2-fight winning streak in the UFC, 9-1, I do believe. So with this change of your opponent, I think you're going to be the favorite going into this fight, I would imagine, because you're coming off a win, he's coming off a loss. How do you feel about that change in opponent? And is there any different in training camp, even though there's only a couple of weeks to get prepared for him? Is there something different that you gotta watch out for? Is it it's your game and it doesn't matter who's in there?
Well, it's different just for the fact, mainly because like the matchups are different. Just because I was gonna fight a longer striker, more of a boxer, and now I fight more of a grappler that isn't as long, which is okay because I've fought tons of grapplers, So and I like to grapple as well. So. I think the good thing about it is we won't have trouble finding each other in the cage. It's not going to be like one of us going to have to chase each other the whole time, and that whole scenario, the feeling out is going to take 2.5 minutes or so. It's probably going to be we're both going to go in, we're going to get in each other's faces, and we're just going to go at it. And I like that. That's how I like my fights to be. The quicker we get started, the quicker I can start wearing on someone. So I like to get at it right away, and I think he's the same. He likes to get at it right away too. So I like the matchup. And as far as like changing the way it made me train, it didn't. When I go into fights, I go in. I think I have a style where if anybody has to worry about something, it's usually somebody worrying about me, because as a wrestler. I usually dictate where the fight goes. So what I do kind of dictates where the fight's going to get. They have to worry about if I want to take them down. They have to worry about when am I going to shoot? When am I going to try to take them down? So they kind of have to play on the edge and pick things that they do, specifically worry about certain things they do. For me, it's kind of the same every fight as far as when I go out, and if I decide I want to take somebody down, most of the time I just take them down. Not saying it's easy, but I know that I have the ability to do that. So with that being said, training's the same. I spar and work with everybody in the gym, all kinds of different bodies, and it's good. And for this specific reason, because I worked with all these different bodies, and now I got a different body than if I'd have worked with somebody for 2-3 months straight of this specific person, maybe I would be like, oh man, this is completely different from what I expected. But I'm with all kinds of people of different striking, grappling, heights, short people, tall people, skinny people, muscular people. So it really doesn't matter. I'm gonna do the same thing I do every day.
Exactly, and that's the benefits to going to elite gyms and basically staying there 24/7, training with these monsters in and out of the cages, man. It's a very interesting matchup, and Tony, you do have a fight of the night bonus on your debut. This seems like it could be set up for the same kind of stylistic fight as that first one. He plans on maybe hopefully softening you up a little on the feet and stuffing some of those takedowns that you're so famous for, and that ground and pound that you've finished so many fights from. So he's very confident and a very dangerous opponent coming off a loss. And and this change in opportunity for him, man. So what do you looking to do in there and establish yourself in this 135-pound weight division?
I'm looking to get back to what I've been doing, pushing the pressure and finishing fights, staying in people's faces. And if I decide that I want to take them down, I don't think there's anything he can do about it. It's not like there hasn't been people that I fought that were like, oh, like I'm just going to keep him from taking me down. I'm just going to knock him out. Like that's something I've dealt with for every single fight. Everybody, has the intention of stopping my takedowns or catching me coming in on a takedown with like a knee or kicking me or punch, something like that. So it's nothing new. It's nothing new. And the good thing is I've done it so much to where I know these things are coming and people know that what I'm going to do, but when somebody knows what you're going to do and they're still not able to stop it, you must be pretty good at what you do, So, and I'm not saying that somebody that I can just take everybody down at will and do whatever I want to everybody, but I just know that, and it doesn't matter if you stop one takedown or one thing that I do, like I'm gonna keep coming, and that's what sets me apart from most people. It's not just, oh, I tried to do this, it didn't work, so I'm screwed. It's like, okay, well, you better be ready for like 5 more of those, and can you stop 5 more of those? Can you stop 10 of those? And that's the thing. So, that it's nothing new, and people say that all the time. So, it is what it is, and I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna fight the same. I'm gonna push the pressure, and wherever the fight happens to be working best for me, that's where I'm gonna stick until I get what I want.
Excellent. Well, a couple of more questions before I let you give your shout out, sponsors, and all that good stuff, man. Well, we're a week out of here, man. Who's making the trip? Who's going to be in your corner? Who's going to be helping you with this game plan of yours on Saturday night?
My coaches are going to be Steve Bruno and Pahumpa, and those are Steve Bruno. I've gotten really close to him. It's like there's so many coaches, and I work with so many coaches, and I'm close with all these coaches. But some people that you just kind of grow closer to, other than some, like more one than another. But I love all the coaches, and they all have. I worked with every one of them, so every one of them has done. I've taken bits and pieces out of everything. And Pahumpa, phenomenal grappling coach, and I end up on the ground a lot, so we're better than and I'm going against another really good grappler. So what better than having a good grappling coach in my ear to help me, get where I need to be. And also my wife, of course, she's always in my corner, so she'll always be in my corner. So those are the coaches that I'll have, but I've worked with a lot of coaches, so it's always hard, like all the coaches are great, so it's hard to narrow it down.
But like you said, some you have like that mental connection with a little more than others. Not that the others aren't giving you that same that same tutoring along the way. It's just sometimes you just connect with people the same way, just like you have good friends, best friends. It just happens. That's just human nature, man. So it's all good, man. You have a lot of support helping you through here. So you're representing the whole gym, bro. Whether you win, you're not just winning for you. You're winning for all them, their family to you now. Last question, my friend. 135 division here is stacked division. You've stayed so busy in your past. COVID came and all this other stuff. A win here. How busy is Tony going to stay, and how busy, and where do you think you belong in this division? Not to get ahead of ourselves, but what's your thoughts on that?
I'd like to say very busy, because that's what I've always known. That's how you progress. That's how you get better. Because although like in the gym you learn a lot, when you get in the cage and when you fight, that's the true progression. What you can actually do in combat live is what helps you progress. So I would like to be active again. And as far as the division, there's, like you said, there's a lot of really good fighters in the bantamweight division. It's stacked. So it's to just there are a lot of guys that aren't even top 15 that should be top 15 that are phenomenal fighters. You know, it's so loaded, and so you know, I just want to stay active, work my way up, and I've actually I've thought about this before. I never really like said it in the words, but like I'm thinking about dropping down to 125, just because. Not necessarily because the division's so stacked, because I mean, fighting is fighting. You know, I've
Yeah.
fought every fight at 135 or higher. So, you know, it's not that I'm trying to run from anybody, but I feel like at this level, my body compared to like everybody else's body is the same. So like not the same, but the way my body is, I'm always smaller, which has always been a benefit to
Yep.
me. And it's not that, you know, just because I go down, I would be any better, you know. But that's something that I'm looking into, you know, experimenting on. It's not that I'm for sure going to go down or I'm for sure going to stay up. You know, I'm gonna test it out and kind of see, you know, if my body still feels good and I can perform just as well as I am at 135, then that's a route I'll probably take. But if not, then I'll just stay at 135 and be the little guy.
Well, there's no problem with that, man, because as you see at the elite level guys out there, they're going from 135, 125. Man, there's options for you. You win this fight on Saturday night, man. You call the shots, man. You know, second win for them, and you know, the backing, you know, cheering you on and just the support you have from your new camp and all that, man, is going to loft you into the future. And, you know, big eyes on you and big success coming your way in 2021. So, Tony, man, a pleasure catching up with you and, you know, picking your brain and seeing what you're thinking about, you know, this big opportunity next Saturday night. So, Tony, shout outs, social media, sponsors, thank yous, and then I'll let you get out of here and take the rest of the week to get ready for this fight.
All right. Well, my social media is Tony Gravely 135. Twitter, I think it's Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. The athlete page is all the same. So if you guys could show me some love on there, that's always great. You know. But I'd like to thank my wife. First of all, you know, she's always been with me through this whole journey of fighting and outside of fighting. So, but she's been ride or die from the start, and so you know. She made this. Well, we made this move to Florida, and you know, it was because of me. You know, like we wouldn't necessarily move to Florida if if it wasn't for the gym, just because way of life is a little different compared to what we live. So, you know, it's not that Florida's bad. It's just different. You know, it's a different way of life when you come from like a small area.
At this set in the game right now, Florida is the happening place for fighters right now. So, man, we all understand the move to the Florida, man, because that's where the action is at this point. I mean, it's going to spread around the country and the world again, but Florida is a good place for you to be, Tony, man.
Yeah, and just the fact that, you know, her being a ride or die and being down with moving, you know, means a lot. So I like to thank all my coaches at American Top Team, coaches, teammates, Dan Lambert, Richie Guerrero, Conan, Primo, all those guys at American Top Team. The way they run the gym is like phenomenal. It's like the way they make it so smooth and easy for like people like myself to move from somewhere else, and they get you right in there and they make sure everything is working as smooth as possible. So like it's an easy transition. So I don't know what other gyms are like other than the gym I went to, but you know, I couldn't imagine it being as smooth as what the transition has been, you know, moving here. So, you know, thank you for this platform, and it's nice talking to you again. Thank you to everybody from back in Virginia, North Carolina, that still support me, that have been supporting me since day one, since wrestling, since kindergarten. I've got friends that, you know, that still go to my fights and still want to come to fights, but they can't, that I've known since kindergarten. So, you know, it's crazy just the amount of support that has accumulated and the amount of support that continues to like fall through, you know. So it's amazing.
Excellent, my man. Well, all the power to you, Tony, man. Since I've known you, you've always been a humble, a respectful, and a really, really great guy for the UFC and MMA community, man. So good luck next Saturday night, April 17th, UFC Vegas 24. Tony Gravely in the house, third trip to the UFC Octagon, man. I'm losing count here, brother. We got to get, hopefully by the end of 2021, it'll be the 10th trip to the UFC Octagon
Oh,
for
man,
you, brother.
that'd be great.
All right, my man.
That'd be awesome.
You have a great week, brother, and we'll be watching next Saturday night.
Thank you so much. You have a good week.
All right, take care.